What's up, guys? You're watching Volgar's Beer Reviews, and this time, this is a re-review of Sapporo. I have already had this, but it was probably like 3 years ago, and they still have it at Safeway, and that's the only place I see it, Safeway. Well, besides Chinese restaurants and, other Asian restaurants. It is a tad expensive, but it's not... Well, let me put it this way. It's $3 for a 22-ounce can. And depending on, what it is, it could be better, but it's not... At least it's not $4 for a 22-ounce can. And at least it's 22 ounces. Some beers that are, like, expensive... like, for example, Newcastle was $2.39 or something like that. Or was it $3.99? I can't remember. I'm forgetting. But that's only 17.9 ounces. But anyways, let's crack this open. It's very heavy duty. I mean, you can knock somebody out. Knock somebody out with this can. Yeah. Smell? Smells kind of light and crisp. My glass was frozen, but now it's thawed out. And there we have it. Sapporo Premium Beer imported. Oh wait, that's the wrong side. There we go. Sapporo. Premium beer. Imported, government warning, blah blah blah. 22 ounce, SapporoBeer.com. Brewed and canned by Sapporo Brewing Company, Guelph, Ontario, Canada. So it's a Japanese beer, but it's brewed in... Wait, imported by Sapporo USA, Inc., New York. So it's a... Wait, what? Discover the perfectly balanced taste that's irresistible to all as you share rich moments with this masterpiece of the brewer's art since 1876. It says imported. It says New York, USA, Sapporo. Brewed and canned by Sapporo Brewing Company, Ontario, Canada. I thought it was supposed to be Japanese, but I guess the company is Japanese. But there's a branch in Ontario, and there's a branch in New York. Anyways, enough of that. There's the beer. It looks like, actually looks a lot like Coors just had last night. It says smells a lot like Coors Banquet, actually. Not Banquet or Golden, actually, because it's a little more golden. Actually, it's just like it. But this was $1.89. Yeah, this is almost $2. So this, yeah, $1 more. It had a soapy head, but now it's dissipating. Yeah, I don't know. It smells a little metallic, but just a slight bit. I don't know. There's not really much else to say other than it's kind of a beery smell, and I guess you can smell the malt and the barley. It doesn't smell as adjuncty. It doesn't smell like it doesn't really look like a green bottle of beer like Ting Sao. So yeah, it just kind of smells and looks like a typical adjunct lager. So let's go with the drink. Now that the head completely ran away. Yeah, it's alright. It has kind of a very... Let's see, what I remember from last time I had this, I remembered... It reminded me of Budweiser. And that's when I hated Budweiser. I don't really like Budweiser a whole lot, but... there's worse stuff out there, definitely. But, for me, it kind of like drinks like Coors Golden, but the aftertaste is like standard Coors or Budweiser, because Budweiser's made with rice as well. Beer Advocate gives it 67 out of 100, very poor rating. Bros, no score. The reader average is 2.84, which is about the same as Coors Golden. Coincidence? Maybe. Maybe Coors had something to do with this beer. I don't know. That's weird. Probably not. Yeah, Sapporo is owned by Japan, but apparently it's brewed in Ontario. 5% ABV. Japanese rice lager. It doesn't say American adjunct. It just says Japanese rice lager. But yeah, taking another swig. It's all right. But there's a lot better beers out there. I basically, every time I go to Safeway, I walk by this beer, and I think, man, that'd suck if I walked by this beer every time I went to Safeway and didn't get it and never got to own this. You hear that? Awesome can. Here's the standard beer can. You know, this one, you're not crushing that. Like, the best I can do is that. And this is like a oil can, like the old school church key beer cans. Or, oh, I thought I knocked over my beer. I'm holding it. Close. Yeah, it's about as sturdy as one of these. Well, okay, this is more sturdy, but this is just a tad bit more sturdy than this. But then again, this doesn't have a hole in it. But anyways, yeah. Just thought I'd throw that in there. So, all in all, Sapporo, should you get it, should you not? You should I think you should at least try it once. It is a lot like Coors or Budweiser. A little, I don't know which one. Probably more of Coors, because Budweiser has kind of a weird taste to it. I don't know how to really paint it out, but it doesn't taste exactly like Budweiser. I used to say that, but this does taste better than Budweiser. This is a little more like Coors. But the reason why I got it is basically for the can and to make a video on it. I didn't make a video before, but that was a long time ago, and I wanted to see what I think about it now. Because sometimes if I have a beer and then like a year or so goes by and then I try it again, my tastes change. And I don't know. I can't really think of any right off the top of my head. But I don't know. You know, people's taste change, and that's why I would give it a re-review and try it out. But another reason was for the awesome can. I mean, you could fill this up full of I was gonna say concrete, but I don't know how you would do that. But I don't know how. Let's see if I peel the rest of the boar out. Rest of the beer, the boar. Now it's a bit more hollow, but yeah, this is hardcore. If you chucked this across the room, you could kill somebody. All right, so my score on this beer, I give it a 6.5 out of 10. It's see, I did say it tastes a lot like Coors, and I gave Coors like a 7.3 or 7.4. See, that's the difference of $1 to me. This is $1 cheaper, and you can buy a six mini bottles, or stubbies, for $6.99 on sale at Safeway. $6.99. This one was $3. So this one 22-ounce can is the price of 2 stubbies. So that'd be 2/3 your 6-pack. I don't know. I guess that's pretty similar to the same price, but I think I'd rather have Coors Golden. I mean, it's pretty close, but I mean, I like this can more. This is an awesome can. Too bad it's not like resealable, which I'm sure that's like impossible to can, but I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it other than just sit on my shelf and like go, wow, that's a cool can, whoop-de-doo. But yeah, I think it's like a 6.5. It's not really anything spectacular. Between Sapporo and Ting Sao, the 2 beers you see most often at a restaurant, and they were, if they said $3 for the beer, they probably wouldn't give you a 22 ounce, they'd probably give you a 12 ounce. I don't know if they'd have a 12 ounce of one of these. I'd like to see that, a little tiny Sapporo can. Unless they charge you $6 for the full size can that this is. I don't know. I think I'd probably go with Ting Sao because I kind of like that green bottle Heineken-esque flavor. But then again, this one was cheaper. I mean, they're both decent. But at the same time, if I was at a restaurant and I wanted a beer and it was $3 for 12 ounces, I would just pass and just get water or tea or some soft drink. I don't know. Something like that. But between the two, they're pretty much, they're both good in their own merits. This is a little bit more of a filling beer. It has more of a head to it. It's just it's basically what I see it as is a good cheap lager made expensive. That's what I think about Sapporo. With Ting Sao, it's, when I found it for cheap, it was $1.89 for 21 ounces, 21.6 ounce. And it's thin, it drinks like a Heineken, but it's even thinner. And, well, actually, the beer-wise, I think this is probably the better beer. Also the better can. But I still kind of like this one a little bit more. I don't know. They're both pretty similar. But, I don't know. Have you had Ting Sao? Have you had Sapporo? What other import beers, like Chinese, Japanese, Asian beers is there? I guess there's Chang. I've had Chang, and that almost tasted identical to Heineken, like Ting Sao. Tsing Tao. But, yeah, that's enough from me. I don't know, maybe not 6.5, maybe it's 6.8, 6.7. But what brings it down is the price. This is not worth $3. The beer is not worth $3. I think the can itself is worth, 50 cents at least of that portion. Because, it's hardcore. But, yeah, I'm just rambling. Sapporo beer, it's a cheap beer and an expensive can sold off as an expensive import beer, which it's, I mean, technically it is an import beer since the company's in Japan, but it's still brewed in Canada and New York, so, that's not as much as import anymore. But things change, I know. REreview used to be in Washington, now it's in, I think, California? I don't know, I forget. I can't even hear or look at it, but, yeah. This video's gone too long. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Rock on. Peace out.